Hello, friends. Long time no see. So today we're going to make biscuits. Now I have Tex-Mex cheese to put in my biscuits, so I'm supposed to cut back the shortening. It does want you to do shortening, so I'm a little bit away from here, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm using some Crisco, but I'm also using some butter because I like butter. Anyway, let's see if I can turn this down so we can see where all my stuff is. Just moving these around. Just moving these around. Okay, so we can see down. Down. There we go. Whoa, we're tipping you over. You don't want to fall over. Oh dear. Let's see if we get this locked in there. Do it yet. I'm having loads of fun with this one. It's been a day or two. There we go. There we go. Maybe I'll do it this way. I'll get you there. Just a minute. Okay, back. So here I have 2 cups of flour. This is my biscuit cutter. So I'm going to put some flour on it before I use it all up. Yes, I use this as a sifter. Earlier, I measured out my baking powder. It's supposed to be 4 teaspoons. I measured out 4 tablespoons. So I had to remeasure. Always read your recipe twice. So just throw that in there. And then, teaspoon of salt. And I get those guys all to go in there together. Just be happy. And there's why I sift. Look, there's little balls of flour. Whole wheat flour, I think. Yeah. It's a little bit of whole wheat flour mixed with my white flour. Anyway. We're good. So I've seen another person on a YouTube video doing this, but she has it has a longer handle, but I thought, well, I got this for $1. I'll try it. It's it'll come to me. It's what is this thing? It's a whisk. It's a whisk of a type, batter whisk or something. So here I have some Tex-Mex cheese. I'm going to throw it in on this stage, even though it's not supposed to go in until you put the shortening, lard, butter, whatever you're using. Margarine works. But if you put it in sooner and get it covered in flour, it'll spread better throughout your dish. Okay. On here, I have a mixture. This is butter, and this is golden shortening. All vegetable shortening. I do prefer lard, but I'm just using what I found in my freezer. Now, for those of you who know me well, what does Tammy like in the least when it comes to this type of stuff? Oh, noisy. Getting the hands in there. Don't mind this. I had an IV earlier. So yeah, I'm going to get my hands into this stuff that I don't like. Because I don't like things sticking to my fingers. Got to keep it in frame here. Right at the edge of the table. Oh. I haven't done videos for a while. I haven't been feeling the greatest. Still trying to recover from that surgery way back in October. By the way, if I haven't said it already, happy St. Patrick's Day. It's now March. So we're having corned beef and cabbage for supper. So I thought, well, I'll make some biscuits to go with it. Maybe we'll even have baked potatoes. I don't know. So anyway, we're getting this kind of one that crumbly. kind of crumbly. It's kind of a boring job. And once it's all kind of how you want it, that's when you add a cup of milk. Or water, if you have it. In a pinch, you can even take some coffee whitener with some warm milk, dissolve it in it, and boom, got it. I know some shortcuts because I've had to use some shortcuts. Today I do have milk. I have homogenized milk in the fridge. I'm going to have to get a cup of it out in a minute. See, I don't like that. Ugh. It's really not my forte. I don't like that stuff. Get the milk out, get the milk out, get the milk out, get the milk out. Now in Ontario, most of our milk comes in bags, but since we're empty nesters now, I don't see the point in buying that much milk. So I have this carton. It's good for a few more days. It's good till March 26th. Today's the 17th. Good. It's over halfway done. Just looking for a measuring cup. Thinking I don't want to get everything dirty getting a measuring cup out. So I'll just use one of these cups because I know if I fill it to the line right there, that's 1 cup. So, right there. A little shy of 1 cup. That's okay. That is just fine for what I'm doing, I think. Put that back in a bit. Now you're supposed to make, there's a big chunk. You're supposed to make a well in the middle of your ingredients. You know, I came by this ick naturally, because one time my grandma was over and she wanted to make sweet potato biscuits. So we making sweet potato biscuits. And she's like, Tammy, get in there and mix that up with your hands. I said, excuse me? What do you mean mix that up with my hands? And she's like, well, I don't want to mix it with my hands. You can mix it with your hands. I don't like to get that stuff on my hands. I'm like, so that's where I came by it. So yeah, the milk is cold. Cold, cold, cold. Very cold. Okay, so I'm going to pause this while I continue to mix this in together. And then when I'm ready to knead it out, I'll show you all what I do. Okay, so I've got some flour on my table. You just need a flat surface, and that'll be my table right now. I'm not worried about the mess I made because that's all from this anyway. This is it stirred up. It's not 100% yet, but we'll get her there when we put her in here. Get more goop on my hands. I don't like that stuff. Yeah. Don't know. I've always been that way. I've never been a mud pie girl, so that's just no. I don't even. You know when you go fishing? Yeah, I could catch a fish. I just didn't want to touch them. Didn't want to touch worms. Nope. Dad put bait on the hook. Dad take the fish off. I'd scale them. I had no problem putting just taking scales off. And I'd eat them. But the rest of it, no thanks, no thanks. Remember fishing once in the boat with Mom, Dad, and my brother and sister. And I was just there waving my fishing rod up and down, up and down. And we saw a fish coming. It was near the surface. And I had already caught quite a few by this time. And my sibling said, if she catches that fish, we're going to hit her. Well, I caught the fish, but they didn't hit me because Mom and Dad were on a boat too. So, no, they wouldn't have hit me. They figured it was because I waved my fishing rod, because then it looks like the fish is kind of, or the bait is kind of moving in the water naturally. So, as you can see, this is taking on some of the flour that I've got on the surface. But I like to squish it out. You're supposed to roll it out, but it's just one more dirty dish, isn't it? You can just do it by hand. Squish it, squish it, squish it. Squish it, squish it. My hubby's doing laundry. And then I'll roll it like this again. See, the more rolls you can get in there, the more layers you can create, more air, I guess. Anyway, you don't want to do it too much, because if you work with it too much, you're going to overwork the dough and make it tough. So squish her down. Get it flatter as possible. And then I'll get my cookie sheet. My oven has already been preheated to 450. It's my cookie sheet. Yes, it's black. There's a reason behind that. I do a lot of baking. That is called the seasoned pan. It has spent many a time in the oven getting prepared. Okay, so see, I'm going to make as many of these as I can. I'll put it over here so you can see. There. Onto my cookie sheet. And then I'll be back. Okay, friends, so I got 11. I count like Sesame Street taught me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't have 12. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know how it goes. 10 of these I did with my glass, aka biscuit cutter. This one's hand formed. Now they go into the oven, 450 for 12 to 15 minutes. You want them nicely browned on top. You don't want to burn them. So I'll check them probably at 13 minutes. But right now they're going to go into my oven. I'll be back in a bit. It's me again. Okay. They're just about ready to come out of the oven. So I'll flip the camera maybe. And there they be. Look at that. Nice and fluffy. And they look yummy. Don't mind my burners. It's real life, And it's going to go with my corned beef and cabbage. Woo, look at that thing. So in there's a corned beef brisket. Carrots that have been kind of sliced, but not really small. Half of a cabbage and 1 sweet onion. Can you hear it sizzling? Okay, so I'm not taste testing that right now. It's really hot. So, yeah, I haven't done videos for a while. It's been a tough haul. I want to get back to what I normally do, but we'll get there. I did manage to get that all, well, not the top row, but the rest of it I got rearranged and whatnot. I took a couple of videos before I worked on my kitchen. Well, I took one video before and one after. So I'll put those at the end of this, I guess. And I walk around going, Okay. I'll try some when it cools down. There are our plates. This one's mine. This one's my hubby's. What do you think?
Another success. Tastes good.
Yeah, it's good. I'll try some. I got some meat and veggies. It's really good.
Gotta have one of your mummy biscuits here.
Biscuit. Yeah. Nice and flaky. Really tender. A1. Okay, it's getting some better because I can see my table, which is much more easier to work with. We're getting there.